Alright, today we're making some chili. And we gotta start by assembling everything we need. And a little bit of oil. We've got some beef stew meat. We've got some corn. We got some dark red kidney beans. Got some black beans. Might use 2 cans of those. Some crushed tomatoes. 2 cans. Next we got some tomato paste. A couple onions. And secret ingredient, better than bouillon, smoky chipotle. Another secret ingredient, minced garlic, instead of doing garlic cloves, because that's a pain in the ass. Of course we got our spice mix. It's going to start with some dark chili. I tend to do a little bit of granulated garlic, some onion powder, a little bit of red pepper, some smoked paprika, salt, and of course some pepper, black pepper. Alright, so first thing I'm going to start by sweating the onions, and also we're going to brown our beef. I might chop up a couple of these larger pieces, but most of these are not too bad. So we'll probably start by that, doing the browning. So I'm going to turn my induction oven on medium-high heat. Probably maybe medium heat. I'm still getting used to this, and it's a little hotter than I expect it to be. And we're going to let that pot get a little bit of time to warm up. I'm doing this in a enameled cast iron Dutch oven. I think that's a great thing to make chili in. This is a pretty big one. Toss a little bit of oil in there. A glug. Going to take a very sharp knife and cut up a couple of these bigger pieces. You won't get to see this part. I don't think you really want anything bigger than like a 2-inch piece. This is just cheap stew meat from Sam's Club. Cheap is relative for beef right now. It's all expensive. Yeah, Cormac. We're cooking. Cooking with Cormac.
He's got his bib in his mouth.
You got your bib in your mouth.
Oh, let's go see a ball.
I forgot to start recording when I threw this in, but basically we're tossing all this meat in here to brown it to get the Maillard reaction going. Which is going to give us flavor. I'm just going to use some tongs to move everything around. Make sure it doesn't stick. So if it does, that's okay. It'll all come up later. And we stick a little bit of oil in there so that the coating, like the surfaces between the meat and the pan touch better. So our intention is not really to cook this meat. We are just browning it and getting some... Thanks for the commentary, Cormac. We're just getting some browning on it for flavor. While it's kind of going, I'm going to start cutting up the onion. You know people who like sweet chilies, like sweeter chilies, and some people put sugar in their chilies. If you just load it up with onion, you don't really have to do that because that contains an onion sweetness for you. Alright, get those onions in there to start cooking. We're going to cook those onions for about 10 minutes. And while that is cooking up, we are going to get our spice mix ready. Alright, spice time. So I just get a little glass dish. We're going to put like that much chili powder in it? No. We'll probably just use all this. Alright, move the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with the spices. I'm going to put about that much garlic powder. And like probably that much onion powder. And we got smoked paprika for some smokiness. We can't really overdo it on smoked paprika. That's probably fine. A little bit of red pepper for just a dash of heat. And salt, you could do salt separately. You don't actually need all that much salt because a lot of the stuff you put in canned is pretty salty. But as you go, test for taste. What am I missing? Pepper. Oh yeah, we can do a little white pepper. So I'm grinding black pepper into it right now. Thanks, Cormac. Good job. Some white pepper. Thank you.
Good job.
Look at that little shaky shake.
And also there's garlic.
Oh, the minced garlic, yeah. We'll do some of that too. Everything's kind of been cooking and sweating for a while. I think the onions still have a little ways to go. They should be getting, as they say, translucent. Alright, now let's continue going. I'm going to take the time to like open up all the cans, which takes a while. So I'm going to start with just one thing of beans, because it might be at a point where we don't need more beans. And personally, I drain the beans. I know bean purists want that bean juice. But we're gonna be putting in juice from the secret ingredient. You may wonder why corn. That's just the way my uncle made it, and I think he learned from my grandma. So it's just kind of been a thing in the family to have corn in our chili, especially the deer chili. I mean, it's chili. You can throw whatever the hell you want. Nice chili, put in chili. I used to do it about um, when we didn't do meat, I would do butternut squash, and it was delicious. So you could do that. Those probably don't. So I don't know if you can see it on there, but you see this like stuff on the bottom here. We need to deglaze that, and we'll probably do it with a little bit of either rice wine vinegar or some apple cider vinegar. Maybe I see rice vinegar right there, so I'm gonna use that. Because we want to get all the pasty paste up. We want the pasty paste.
Want both of these?
Yes. Alright, we're going. Turn that down just a little bit. Careful, son. So, at this point, we can put our spices in. And I'm going to put them right in the middle so they get nice and toasty. We're just going to like heat them up just a little bit to get nice and smelly for like a minute before we deglaze. Oh, there's apple cider. You can also deglaze with bourbon. I've done that before, that's fine. So we're going to put a little bit of vinegar in. And we're going to use that to scrape up everything off the bottom of the pot. Scrape, 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 scrape. Get all that nice tastiness. So we can keep doing this later too. That's going to help out with that. Alright, and then we take our tomato. That's the base of our chili. We're going to do 2 cans. Or if you got a big can, do 1 big can. That's the start. And then I'm going to mix that up just a little bit so that we switch from like grilling our meat to stewing it basically. Smell that vinegar. And this will bring the temperature down a little bit and let it heat back up. Okay, now if you like your chili tomatoey, put a bit of tomato paste. Yeah. Probably like, I don't know, a tablespoon or so. That's like the concentrated tomato flavor. And give that a little mix. That's still heating up fast. And then we're gonna put a very large can of beans in there. Let's see where we're at size-wise. Oh, we can fit one. I think you can corn in there.
Baby's getting
Trash. Don't get in the trash. 1 cup. Tablespoon of, a big tablespoon of I usually expose. Secret ingredient. Just load that up there. And we're going to put in a little bit of minced garlic. What do you think? You think we could go with another can of black beans? I got it here. I just didn't put it in yet.
Oh, yeah. That's how you put. That's how you put 2 in there.
No, I was just thinking. I held back in case it was too much. But I think we got room. As long as it fits in the pot.
I mean, like a toddler tower that's not a high chair that we can move around the kitchen. Bye.
Alright, now at this point, we're just mixing it up. We're going to get it up to simmering, and then we just like leave it for like an hour. Maybe every 15 minutes give a little stir. And that's it. Easy, delicious chili. I will come back in like 45 minutes to an hour to show you what it ends up being. So as you're cooking, it's going to get like this, like all the liquid is going to move up to the top. And if you need to reduce the amount of liquid in it, you just let it kind of boil off like that for a little bit without the lid on. I just come in every once in a while and give it a stir to recombine everything. Cormac says hi. Hold on. And I'll go back to that in like 10 to 15 minutes. You stir again. La-di-da-di-da. So you don't need that fan. Probably hard to hear me without that. Alright everyone, we're at like, an hour 10 in or so. I'm checking to see how the meat's doing. It got a little hot on us, but I want to check if it's tender. So let's get a decent sized piece here. Just gonna see if I can cut with a spoon. Yeah. I'll cut with a spoon. Rock beef. Probably be a little more tender. But it's close. Mm-hmm. It's very close. It would be totally edible right now. So anyways, that's chili.